And we're back. I actually fell asleep last time. Surprised I did. Um, I actually didn't mean to. I haven't eaten. At the very least, Clark Schmidt is going to be a free agent in 2030, so you don't have to pay him for too long. Definitely Anthony Ramirez. I don't want to lose him for nothing. I am very excited, though, I have to say, for what Anthony Ramirez brings for 2029 and moving forward. I think he'll be a very good player for us. While his ceiling isn't very high, his floor is very high, and I'm pretty good with that. I think Troy Parker, we won't lose him in the Rule 5 draft this year, but next year could be a possibility. So, what I actually want to do is let him just be in the minor league, well, in the farm system for a bit. I might even demote him to Double A to get him started. It depends on how the triple. It depends on what the Triple A team looks like. Another thing I wanted to do, Aaron Shunk. I like Aaron Shunk, but he is not gonna access his full potential here with us. And frankly, I think he needs to go to a location that will actually allow him to thrive. So what I want to do is send him out. It's been kind of the plan this year. Even though he's 31, there should be some teams lined up that want to take him on. I think the O's would be like the first. Well, before I do anything, I actually need to go ahead and do my side of things. The judge, jury, executioner is the reference that I'm giving. I don't have my phone right now. That shit is dead. I have to put it on the charger. We'll start with Baltimore because they are the obvious choice. They need a serious fix and adjustment to their roster. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to happen with the pitching staff. They have Freddie Peralta locked up. They have Kyle Bradish. Oh, okay. They gave him a lot of money. They spent the money on Kyle Bradish. I figured they'd do that. It makes sense. But giving him this kind of term at age 32, you better hope he stays under 3 you better hope his ERA stays below 3 throughout this contract, at least until 2033. Because that back half, oof, that's nasty. What does that make? The holiday still isn't extended. Vlad's still here till 2031. And are you going to be re-signing him is the ultimate question. And most importantly, You need some term opened up so you can bring back Gunner. So I do have to go ahead and help them with that. I think where it's going to start is Grayson Rodriguez. He has 1 year left of his arbitration. I think it just makes sense for them to trade him at this point. I need to make an adjust. But yeah, I'm going to have to make these guys be basically willing to move on from. They need to seriously move on from some of the guys that were here. You know, if they want to continue contending, of course. Oh, that's a neat trick. Okay, I just learned something new I can do now with Windows 11. We'll also have them trade Westberg. I think he's a bit on the decline. So that should free up some more salary at least. At least I think it should. Why the hell did you get Henry Davis for? Anyways, they should be able to bring him back though, right? Other issues are, ooh, Boston has 3 guys entering the last year of their deal. I think for Tampa, they probably should just go ahead and trade Taj Bradley. There's no, I don't even know if they'll bring back Pepiot. He went to free agency. I didn't have him trade Pepiot because most teams already got their starting pitchers at the deadline, and Tampa was within 3 games of a wild card spot. I thought they'd make it in. They did not. I think they should also just trade Marcelo Mayer at this point. He's got 80 overall, a year older than Carson Williams, and Carson Williams is about to get to the show, and he's finally going to make his presence felt. Gotta say, Unior has been disappointing in this series. I really thought by now he'd break out. He kind of did this past season, but I think he's still leaving a lot to be desired. Now, there are some options here. I actually want to go ahead and go through as many as possible. So, they have options in Tampa to also move on from. I think those names would be Mayer, Bradley, and Zach. which is funny because they literally got him at the deadline just to maybe have to trade him anyways. But at least they landed Pedro Paez, so that's cool. Although why they're putting him at first base, no fucking idea. Oh yeah. Oh boy. D potential and you drafted him with a second round pick. That's some terrible decision making. Josh Naylor, I want him to get traded from Toronto. I think Francis Dinellan is set to break out and just needs to play. Instead of a DH, he needs to be at first base. He has decent fielding. His fielding isn't terrible. Neither is Naylor's. 62. You could do a lot worse for a fielding rating of 62. Maybe that's why they were thinking of moving him, but Naylor's like peak value right now. 87 overall, 31 years of age. He still has two more. He's got this season and 2 more years after on his contract. This is peak value for a guy like him. At the very least, they have finally reached the end of the Anthony Santander contract. It's on the final year. We'll see how he performs in 2029 and see if he could get a contract moving forward. Man, the White Sox have they have the future, man. They got the future they need right here. Yeah, we can. Right now, I just want to get my cover all my bases on guys who should probably get moved at this point. At least at this point in the off season. Teoscar was only here for 2 years, bro. Okay, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I don't think you need a Jace Jung or Garrett Hampson anymore. They can just go. You just literally acquired a generational third baseman prospect. This man, Kenny Morgan, is a high schooler playing pro already. Sure, guys. You'll love to see it, though. This is the most broken shit I've seen in my life. My only question is will you actually pay him when the time comes? Like, these fuckers only have 81 million taking up right now. Like, there's no reason you can't pay for certain players. But yeah, Ranger Suarez, he hit free agency too, huh? The other thing that I'm not sure if I said it on stream, but I want to point this out. I wanted players this off season to receive a a potent or a ratings boost, so that way they can actually make the show. They can actually be on the major league roster by now, because a lot of these guys are like in their mid 20s. We don't want to waste any more time with them, wasting years in the farm. I think Carlos Correa is a more tradable piece now, considering his contract is expiring. which is kind of why I also wanted them to blow it up. Unfortunately, the wheel did not land on them last night. It landed on St. Louis. Not gonna lie, it'd be really fucking funny if they choose not to bring back Jordan and say, we are rocking with Cordero from this point. The guy you got at the deadline last year. And he turns into mush. But hey, at least the Angels finally have Jose Altuve off the boards. They have freed up around 30 something million dollars in team salary, so that's always cool. It's actually best case scenario for them because now they can keep deluding themselves that they can compete. Well, yeah, then they got this guy, Julian Manzanillo. They actually got really young this offseason just by having Brady House and Julian Manzanillo alone. That just makes you automatically younger by default. It's gonna be real funny if we end up having to see Luzardo in the A's this season. Oh man, this should be an exciting year for Seattle and the last chance probably with this group of guys they've constructed. Hunter Green and Ellie De La Cruz reunite in the Northwest Pacific. Yeah, no one's taking on that. I don't think anyone's taking on that term, buddy. Oh, that diminishing bet. But like even then, you should still be able to bring back. I think Matt Olson, 2 years, still producing at an effective rate. You could get something for him. Only 2 years left on his deal. I'm sure there's a team out there that would take on his deal. Hassan Kim, he's also 2 years left. Oh, wonderful. The internet disconnected. Yeah, so what was that? Okay. I think Miami should go ahead and move on from Edwards if they can't bring him back long term. Max Myers, same issue. Now you have this guy this whole time, and you've decided not to bring him up to the show. Yeah, they probably should move on from Jeff Hoffman then. Man, this group of guys Phillies constructed, I don't know if they have another shot at the World Series at this point. They haven't actually been back since 2022. Did someone take on Bo Bichette's deal? Maybe. He had a good he had a good year in Washington in 2028. It could let them go big game. To be fair, brother, their team salary is $21 million. Yeah, no, you don't need to move anybody then. I just peeped that. That's the lowest I've ever seen. That is incredibly low. Holy fuck, for a team salary, how is it this low? Is it because so many guys are on arbitration deals? I think a lot of guys aren't extended yet. For the love of God, Washington, please do the right thing and just extend James Wood to be the face of the franchise. I also have been very tempted to just make him a 99 because he has been busting my ass on stream and on video all series. He's been very difficult to shut down, if that makes sense. Who takes on a Shota Imanaga at this age for arbitration? Might as well just have the contract play out. Yeah, same thing with Ben Brown. I don't know what Chicago does. The Cubs really aren't that good. Even with like okay, seriously, you guys can move on from Ian Happ, you know. In fact, I kind of want that. I kind of want to see that happen. You have two very talented young outfielders, Jorge Filouete and Todd Ciccone. You have your future outfielders. Fucking get rid of Ian Happ. Jesus Christ. He's already 34. Bro, about to hit the big 35 next season. Oh yeah, the 2028 draft class was an elite year for third baseman prospects. I don't know how this happened, but here we are. They have 4 years with him under arbitration. Yeah, y'all can move on from Nick Gonzalez. You don't need him. Great year last year, All-Star appearance. Still don't need him. You have Alex Freeland. Just let him be a major league player at this point. You have him for at least 6 years under contract. Just do what needs to be done, you pussies. Bro, Brandon Woodruff retiring at the right time. Bro retired on top, and on top of that, they also have Dan Diedroff coming up. This man looks like he's ready for some big league action. Same goes with Roger Irizarry. The first round selection from them in 2025, so I would like to see them. Okay, so it might be Luis Garcia being shown the door. I am happy for Milwaukee. They finally broke through the glass ceiling and won it all. It just took them so long to do it, man. Holy shit. Next year might be even easier for them because The Pirates are gonna have to trade one of these two, Paul Skeens or Jared Jones. I don't know if they can bring both of them back, and they may have to trade other guys just so they can free up as much salary as possible, just so that can happen. Because really think about it. Really think about this for a second. How are you so low in terms of financial capital? You should be able to re-sign Paul Skeens now. Go ahead and sign him now. Bring him back and secure the face of the franchise now. And you don't have this issue to deal with anymore. New look Cardinals. They will probably be bad next year, but that's okay. They're rebuilding anyways. Yelich is getting paid $33 million for this year, and then that's it. It's done. At the very least, this contract does expire well before Corbin Carroll's expires. They should be able to bring Cattell back. That's the only concern. The Dodgers could probably move on from Hai-Sung Kim. They have Matt McLain at least for this 1 year. Not a great batting year for the guy, but it wasn't too terrible. You know what's crazy? If the Dodgers did land Ellie last night, they were probably just gonna end up packaging a lot of their they were probably gonna package a deal with like Stone Garrett, Andy Pajes. It would have been something like that to make that trade happen. I am glad he didn't get traded over here though. That saves me so much trouble. The Dodgers will still be good though, don't get that wrong. I think one thing that should happen is they move on from Devin Williams. Devin Williams did fuck him over in the playoffs. And he did fuck him over in his first and only full year with the Dodgers. His first full year with the Dodgers, and it was putrid. You do not want your closing pitcher with an ERA at 307, people. Just saying. Stop the paying off Manny Machado's contract. That is some diabolical work. Man, at least you can keep Lawrence Butler for one more year. That's always good, right? Jackson Merrill's in the last year of his arbitration. My only question is what do you do if you're San Diego? I'm curious to see how Mitch Spence will do with a full year with the Padres after being pretty bad last year for both of them and the Athletics. But I'm not too confident in what he can do either. Yeah, this roster's kind of stuck, man. I mean, you could trade Jake Cronenworth. His contract is reaching its end next year. And it's only going to free up about 11 million, so what else do you do for that? Michael King's under contract for another year. At the very least, I want them to keep Tatis and Chisholm and maybe bring back Jackson Merrill for sure. And yeah, my veto powers will be at work this offseason, so keep that in mind. Brother, you're 32. I'm not giving you a 5-year deal. But here, you know what we'll do? We'll do a... Because I do think he's very good for us. We'll give you a 2-year deal that runs through 20... This contract will begin next season and go through 2030. Because that's essentially the core. So we'll see if he takes that deal. Brandon Williamson. I don't know if I want to pay him just yet. What's his arbitration looking like? 2 years? What does he want though? 5 years, looking for 4 million per year. Can't do it. Because I think arbitration's gonna make us have to fight him for it. At least Zach Jackson's is more reasonable. I'd be perfectly content giving him this kind of deal. See if he'll take it though. This will have him pay for next season, 2029 and 2030. Right now, a lot of these contracts need to be short deals, short-term deals. You know, I did trade for him, but we never really came around to using him. We should be able to win his arbitration. We'll meet in the middle here at 850k or 850k. That'll be his arbitration offer. Hopefully, we win his the negotiation. If not, we might have to just go ahead and move him. Brian King performed really badly for the games he was in last season, but he was pretty good for our AAA affiliate. His offer, he's looking around for 780k. Should be able to win arbitration then. Well, that was his previous salary. Might have to hold off on that one. Williamson, what did I say about him? He wants 4 million. Don't want to do that. What about Hassad? 3.9 for 5 years. Good lord. Let's hopefully meet around the middle. We'll try for 2 million and 520k. That'll be a salary arbitrate offer. Hopefully he comes to terms with it, or hopefully we win the arbitration hearing for him. In terms of Williamson, I don't know, man. I really don't want to like offer was 1.6. He wants 4.4. We'll try for 2.5 million. For Aaron Shunk, I want to go ahead and move on from him. We're just gonna dump him to Baltimore, so that way Baltimore can go ahead and get rid of Jordan Westberg. Like again, we don't need a lot for this guy. We'll just take on anybody at this point. Just to be sure though. Again, SDS, black background with the black bar. Why? Why not just make theirs white? What difference does that? What is the issue with making their thing white? Like, I don't understand it. These Mo's have three rising prospects at third base. This is the type of greed they talk about. And then they got Jace Young, bro. And this guy. They drafted at the same time. This is the type of greed they talk about in the Bible. I'm just saying. There's no reason to have this many guys. You don't need these other dudes, if I'm being honest. If anything, just at least get rid of Young. Like, you don't need these guys, bro. This is insane greed. They are hoarding all the third baseman prospects. That is some crazy levels of greed. I think most of these teams are. I don't think it'll hurt because we just trade with Baltimore again. Let me just again. Give me a second. I want to cover all my bases. God damn, bro, that beer's absurd. I mean, that should work. Don't really plan on keeping him. And more, we can use another catcher. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, I could have sworn they said there was like a young pitcher in their organization they were trying to dump. I don't think it was you. Am I delusional? Like, what did I see just 2 seconds ago? I don't know where this like, I don't know what happened just now because I could have sworn I saw a guy. Just wanted to do a 3-team trade. It shouldn't be this difficult. Yeah, I must be delusional because I thought I swore. I could have sworn I saw someone. Let me try something else. Hold on. Player search. Do any player in this age range. What can I find? Maybe we can trade him to here. They value him too much. I mean, they're both basically the same age. Yeah, so much for what I said about we can always use an extra catcher. I guess they'll have to come elsewhere. Gone. I didn't real like okay. I didn't pay attention. I didn't realize he just got drafted. So no, go back. Go back. I made a mistake. Alright, fuck me, I guess. I guess that's not happening. Well, that's the only time that's ever happening. You... The two players I wanted back. And you said, nah, we can't do that. What the hell, bro? What the hell? I'm gonna go ahead and renew some of these deals. We have such a massive budget available. It's actually crazy. Do not crash on me, game. We're gonna have problems. I don't know why it's acting this way. I think Warming's a guy we should probably go ahead and move on from. He's not a bad player. But I think our situation has reached that point. I think we also might I don't want to trade Benny actually. I want to make sure he stays at least. I actually want to go ahead. Greg Jones, I want him. I actually want him on the 40 man because we're not bringing back Ruiz. We still need a guy who can get on, we can use him as a pinch runner. I think he can be that guy. Played very little for us up to this point, but that's okay. Ah, Robert Callis. I'm looking forward to him. He's gonna be at the show next year. At least he might. It depends on what our depth chart looks like for the outfield. That's mostly what it boils down to. We have so much salary to spend right now. It's crazy. And only 24.6 million right now has been spent on potential renewals. I'm looking forward to see what the Yard Goats will look like next season. They will be playing in a new ballpark, so this should be an interesting situation. There's Bradley. Still gotta do player rating adjustments for we'll give them that +1 for September and October, I believe. I didn't do that. I gotta say though, the current core is set, and the future is pretty intriguing. We have a lot of intriguing prospects in our farm system. Just making sure Love was nah, he was one of the guys I ended up acquiring. Don't know if I'll ring him back. He was just a part of a trade I had. I think one guy that's definitely gonna have to play next season is William Lane. I don't want to have him sit any longer. To be honest, I'm not sure how much longer sitting in oh yeah, I forgot. William Lane will have to play next year in Double A. He needs to get some action, man. Needs to start his development needs to improve a lot more, so that way he can get to the show by 24. There we should be straight. Man, fucking Kenny, man. Kenny Gomez was so good. So that's been taken care of. That's been taken care of. I have 28 spots on the 40 man taken up right now. If I lose Cabrera, that's fine. I'm not really going to be upset. I do have to choose with Benny Montgomery. It should be. He should be fine now. Although I think this is as good as he's going to get. Probably going to be low 70s throughout his career. Langenberg. Yeah, we can definitely have him a part of the 40 man. We lose Chris Clark, that's fine. Jack O'Loughlin, though. I don't want to lose him. Ooh, Gomez. I really liked him in the Yankees, on that Yankees team. The Somerset Patriots. I think if we lose Warming, I'm not gonna be upset. In terms of free agency, day one free agents, where could we go for upgrades? Probably the is Carrera's on our yeah, he's already there. Okay. So in terms of starting pitching, don't touch that. In terms of the outfield, that's another thing I need to fix. I really, really like Zach Veen as a right fielder, and I think Charlie Condon will perform better if he plays left field. And then his secondary position should just be outfielder. Yeah, there you go. Rating doesn't drop, I believe, so it just hangs around there. Anthony Ramirez, though, has the higher floor, but Charlie Condon has the better ceiling. Man, it should be a great year for Ramirez. Probably let him hang in the AAA farm for a little bit. Let him be in AAA for a time. And then promote him like a month into the season or something. We can do that. Greg Jones, we have him available. Benny can just go ahead and be moved up to AAA. He shouldn't need to be down there anymore. And well, he shouldn't need to be a AA player anymore. Kenny Gomez should fit in quite nicely, and we have Joseph Patel developing in Class A, so bro, you don't need this. You can have that. That looks more appropriate. So, everything here should be basically sorted. We're gonna add Callis to the 40 man. Maybe he'll be able to make it. If he can't, not the end of the world. Kirk Driver actually could play AAA this season, but I'm not gonna rush it or force it if I don't have to. Let's see. I am up to 35 players. I probably just want to. Oh, don't want to do that. I'm gonna avoid it altogether and just have Kirk be a part of the 40 man. I believe the way. Let me just make sure. I always forget the rule of the. 4 to 5 years as a professional. So what does that make Kirk? I drafted him. Yeah, he was my third round selection in 25. So 26, 27, 28. So he hasn't reached that point yet. So I don't have to. Then I don't have to jump the gun. Then I should be fine. I did not mean to take this guy from the Marlins. I don't usually like taking rookies that teams just drafted. I didn't notice that at first. Now they won't take him back, and I don't have forced trade on, so there's all I can do there. Uh, Either way, I guess they probably didn't want a guy who they drafted. It was probably more embarrassing if they kept the second round selection with deep potential than just trading him outright. Either way, we'll see how he turns out because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I didn't mean to take him. I did not mean to do that. He has a 69 potential. That's really nice. That was a that was a big oof. That's never happening again. So I do apologize. I think to make up for it, who did I give the Marlins? Fuck me. Who did I give them just now? Austin O'Vern and Sean Mora. Yeah, we'll give Sean Mora. Since I'm God in this series at this point. Sean Mora wasn't meant to be here. Well, he wasn't meant to. This wasn't meant to happen, so to make up for it, we'll make his potential also 69. Can I look at my prospects? My prospect rankings? No? Okay, fuck me, I guess. Thank for the trade block. I don't want to see what offerings people have for Sterling. Brody Bradley. Yeah, that should be good. God damn, Sensatella is still here. He'll probably retire after this. 2029. He'll probably call it a career. I see Carl Kaufman's here. That's pretty funny. Hasn't been with us for a while. Austin Comber. Yo. What is good, bro? I could sign a couple of free agent. Well, you know what? They'll probably make him sign to the 40, bro. They might sign him to the 40, man, if I'm not careful. Should just be able to get him as an undrafted player. He might have been either drafted this year or last year. So I have a new guy. I think I talked about it. I would like to upgrade my closer. Get someone who's more who's better. From the looks of it, it is Emmanuel Clase, but might have to wait. I'm gonna wait before I sign the big names from day one, because I want to see who gets signed where. Because I don't think anyone should sign so fast that it's just already like it's happening. At least the qualifying offers have been made for Ramirez and Cattell. Even Jordan's received one. Ah, Yoshida. He's asking for a 1-year deal of 10 million. That might be our doing. Still very good with us, I have to say. Not many shortstops in the free agency this year. Even then, we don't need like a crazy. Probably don't need like a crazy free agent signing. Jose Miranda. What is he asking for? 2 years, 6.4 million. I could use a backup. Wilson Contreras playing first base. Might actually be a better option, even if he's declining. Plus, it's a 1-year deal, so it's not the worst case scenario. Again, I don't need to sign anyone just yet. Now, we'll get to the time to do the commissioner's part. Need to set up the wheel. Give me 1 second. What teams? Okay, Ramirez. Ramirez is the only one that's gone. Okay. I was gonna say, let me see who has been tendered a qualifying offer from their respective team, and from the looks of it, it may have only been. So that should be interesting. And that means there's a lot of teams that are missing a third baseman. We'll keep the Dodgers. We should keep the Dodgers. We'll add the Padres. This is the Jordan Westbrook sweepstakes, so not as luxurious as the Elly De La Cruz trade that happened last night. But these teams should consider upgrading. You can actually remove San Francisco from. So the Dodgers will stay. Padres will replace San Francisco. You can't move that contract. That's impossible. I don't know why the fuck they gave him so much term. That was ridiculous. I love the name Rob Fishman going to the Marlins. That's hilarious. It will always be funny to me. Texas, they should be. So we'll move Seattle. Swap them out with Texas. Shit. Not even Royce Lewis was given the qualifying offer from the Twins, so maybe I need to add Minnesota to this. Okay. So this could work. This could work for a scenario. I think these are the most obvious choices. Just to confirm though, what are we looking at? Oh yeah, Boston. Yeah, get rid of them. Okay, so I had to remove Boston, Seattle, Baltimore, obviously, because this is the Westbrook trade. All right, here we go. One of these 6 teams will acquire Jordan Westbrook from from a trade with Baltimore. Well, should be interesting. Anyways, let's not waste any more time. Well, damn. Congratulations, Chicago. Looks like you're about to get a very good third baseman. Well, actually, why did I do that? I forgot. I stopped paying attention. Okay, so 5 teams. This is embarrassing. I did not want this to happen on stream. This has happened before where I just didn't pay attention. It should not have been them. Change the order. All right. So there will be 5 teams. Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. All right, 5 teams. One of them will get Westbrook. Then. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. That did not just happen on stream. What the fuck? Well, the Dodgers just got significantly better. Just making sure. They offered him a qualifier offer, right? I'm not stupid, am I? Yeah, they did. But I think their problem stems far more. Yeah, I mean they have Kobe Mayo, so and then we traded them Aaron Shunk, so they got depth at third baseman, so they shouldn't hurt them. Took a picture, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, this ain't happening. Uh, I need this pin. I should just work like this. This should be a very entertaining off season, I have to say. Anyways, it is a shame that Baltimore has to break up some of this core so they can make sure they keep Gunner. But whatever has to be done has to be done. Because the game doesn't seem to recognize, like, oh, we need to make sure certain players are prioritized over others. The game refuses to prioritize the highest rated players in manageable ways, which literally doesn't make any sense. I don't know how. So they should be able to. Are we doing this again? Are we doing this? Are we doing this again, bro? There's no way. There's no way. I don't have a shortstop to spare, do I? Hold on. God damn it, I gotta do this shit all over again. One second. I don't know why this game keeps doing this to me. What did I do to deserve this? This is some of the dumbest shit. So what should be able to happen still is not only do they extend Gunner, but bring him back. Not only should he be able to receive the qualifying offer, they should be able to extend him long term. So there's no way he should be able to leave Baltimore in just an abrupt manner. 3 straight years in the World Series, winning the championship. That just shouldn't happen. But at the very least, um, how does this work? Okay, All right. He still like, dude, I need y'all to see this. He still has this, which doesn't make any sense. I swear, this game for some reason doesn't like manage itself properly. I don't understand how this works. I have to do this every fucking time for no fucking reason. I've never had to do this before. This is absurd. If this is gonna keep happening, then I might as well leave Tino as like a high-rated player. Because I don't know how many more times I have to deal with this. It's still not enough? Are we for real, bro? Come on. I am I'm trying to help you. Ah, why are you like this? Dumbass game said, dumbass game, look at this shit. Dumbass game says they need a catcher. Team is seeking catcher. The fuck you mean you're seeking a catcher? You have Rutschman. You have Basalo. You have this guy. What do you mean you're seeking a catcher? The fuck is wrong with this game? So dumb. I have to keep doing this. I might not be able to keep doing this on stream. This is just gonna have to be something that I thought it'd be more fun than this. Instead, I'm suffering in silence. I have to suffer in silence because this game doesn't register anything properly. It's so bullshit. I should not have to keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again. That should not be something I have to keep doing. Okay. Like the game is not registering the not registering anything accordingly, and I don't understand why. Alright, so I have it fixed. I just had to add Robertson Cordova as is to finish the trade. Now I gotta fix their ratings, but I'm back to normal. So that way they're not broken ass players in the game. Like, I don't understand it, bro. I really don't. It's like the weirdest thing. I really can't describe or fully understand why the game does this for, like, constantly does this. It's fucking weird. I'm going to the wrong teams. I don't get it. all this shit, and oh yeah, the Dodgers. I almost forgot they won the Westbrook sweepstakes. All that mind-numbing nonsense, and I just completely forgot they uh they won the sweepstakes for him. So I am not looking forward to seeing Jordan Westbrook in our division year in and year out. I'm gonna be miserable by the end of it. Not only do I need to make sure that I get everyone back, but I need to also make sure they're probably gonna I like to imagine the game is treating a situation like, you sold me a lemon. How could you? I just want to be like, don't give me that shit. You did this to yourselves. I gotta say though, at the very least, these guys did win the World Series in 2027, so they're not in the worst case scenario. Though it could be better. They could have won again. They could have won back to back. They didn't. Again, they already have a third baseman, so they should be fine. Yep, there's the value. I want to just go through cover my bases. Who do the Dodgers have that they can get rid of that is like a touted prospect? Because they should at least give one good prospect back for the trouble. Not someone they just signed, though. Dude, where is their like good prospects? What the hell? Something weird is going on with the Dodgers. I'm not sure why, but their farm system is looking kind of barren. I'm not sure what they did. They Oh, you know what? Maybe just because the guy, I'm fucking dumb. I am forgetting completely that they did give up a lot at this past deadline. They gave up a lot to get Stone Garrett, Matt McLean, Pete Fairbanks. They did give up a lot of prospects at the time to supplement the roster they were going into the postseason with, albeit it resulted in no playoff wins. So take that for what you will. I mean, the Dodgers should be fine though. They'll be back on timing next season. They do have quite the stud rotation. Yeah, they should be back on timing next year. I wouldn't worry too much if I were them. The question is, how much can you get? How much can they give up for a Jordan Westbrook trade? How much would they be willing to give over? Because it probably should be a lot. I'm not turning on the screen yet until I have a good trade settled in. Because basically what's happening is I need to make sure, I need to see if they have things available. If you have things that you can trade off. I really want to get to the free agent signings. This could work. Well, maybe not, because I almost have it. Give me a second. So far, I have 2 players for the Dodgers that can be moved. I just want to make sure, can they move anything else? Although, to be fair, he is entering a arbitration year. I guess this can work. So, you'll see on the screen here what I'm referring to. So, the Dodgers have a catcher prospect in Sean Schmidt. And then they have these guys, Kendall George, who was their first round selection in 2023, still hasn't been to the show yet. And then they have this guy, Yohendry Vargas. I think it's Yohendry Vargas. These are the 2 like major components of the trade. This should work though for Baltimore on their end. Meanwhile, the fucking Dodgers get better. They just added Jordan Westbrook via trade. He will be a clear upgrade for their third baseman position. And just like that, I'm in hell. I'm not happy, guys. I'm not. I'm not happy the wheel landed on them. I was really praying to Allah that we're not going to get him. Vargas and then that catcher. On Smith. Now give me back my players, you fucks. I gotta deal with these rating adjustments. It was like a situation where you might as well leave their ratings the same until they get traded, then work your way from there. Because it's like, it's not worth just changing their ratings. That's done. We don't need to deal with that. The Dodgers should be back on timing next year, and they might even be able to not only win the NL West again, but they might even storm through the World Series. They should have done it. I didn't expect us to sweep them. I thought we'd at least take a game, maybe 2, go to game 5 and lose in 5. That would have been a very, like, I would have been content with that outcome. But once we beat them in a sweep, bro, like, aspirations and ambitions just filled my dome. I was ready to go to the World Series, man. I was like ready to pack my bags, head to Baltimore, get ready for a World Series matchup against the O's, and it just didn't happen. It was really unfortunate that we didn't get the job done this year. And who knows if we get back to the NLCS right away? It could take a year before we get back there because again, I don't know. I'm really not trying to bring Nolan Jones back on the contract that he's looking for. I would rather take the draft pick. If a team signs him to an extension, that's fine. If a team takes him, especially if they're like an AL team, that means we won't have to see him often. Of course, I could be very unlucky and he just ends up signing with like the Dodgers. Can you imagine? Bro, he goes to the Dodgers. He says, "Remember me, bitches." We will be so fucked if he goes to LA. Vision. So that should free up salary for Baltimore in that aspect. And then they have Aaron Shunk for 3 years of arbitration, so that works out. The next guy that needs to go for Baltimore, however, is Grayson Rodriguez. Have him move. He has 1 year left of arbitration. I think it makes sense that he just goes ahead, gets sent out. There are plenty of teams Yeah. Let's see. I think we had Dodgers don't need him, so to take him out the mix. Twins don't need him. Well, we won't include them. It would be very foolish to see a Baltimore team give up a top pitcher to a division rival, so no. So our list for now is San Diego and Texas. I don't think the White Sox need him. They need to focus on working out their roster. Maybe the guards, but they got to see what happens with Ramirez. Phew. This is a interesting dilemma. Kansas City could probably use him for a year. They got to replace Ranger after all. Well, actually, no, Ranger's back. It's Cole Hagen. It's Cole Reagans who's in free agency, and that's who. We'll have KC here for now. Detroit could probably use him. I want to say Cleveland, but again, they're dealing with Ramirez first. The White Sox could also use Rodriguez, but they're rebuilding. They need younger players, not older. Seattle could probably use him too. So Seattle, because they can just swap out Evan McKendry and Jimmy Joyce, one of them. Let's just swap one of them or both of them out, and then you add a fourth arm. Although it would be, you know what? It would be really funny if the Mariners can't get Rodriguez in an idea that involves, well, what if we see you again in the ALCS? We don't want to see Rodriguez start against us, so no. So Seattle has to give up even more than what they originally wanted in order to get him. I think the Marlins could be on the rise with a Rodriguez signing or a Rodriguez trade, I should say. Maybe Miami. Uh, ooh, the Mets could use it. Although they do have these contracts to deal with, but I think they could trade one of their pitching prospects if they can get an upgrade for now. Then it defeats it fixes the issue that they're dealing with. They get Rodriguez, they get him for a year, bring him back next year, and you don't have to keep Andrew Abbott or Luis Castillo or Griffin Manning or Canning. You can have them go. So we'll use the Mets. Philly Philly should probably be involved with this. They did lose Christopher Sanchez he's in free agency right now. No signs if he is a just to confirm, has he been given a qualifying offer? Yeah, he has, so they'll probably hold off on it for now, actually. And I saw Cole Reagans has one, so Kansas City doesn't need to get involved in the trade just yet. Minnesota has Lopez. He's been offered a qualifying deal. So, no Minnesota. I think even if George Kirby is given a contract extension, I think they still go on ahead as the M's and gets a part of the trade. Nah. I'll take them out for now. So Logan Webb, even though he's been offered a qualifying offer, I think he should still be. I think the Giants would be a part of this. They were a 91 win team that was basically swept out of the postseason in embarrassing fashion. In a joke, I honestly want to say the Dodgers to replace they'll have to replace Tyler Glass now. He just hit free agency, so I hope they didn't give him a qualifying offer. Let me check, because if they did, they're stupid. They don't need to give him a qualifying offer. Why did you give him a qualifying offer? What is wrong with you? He's 30. He's 35. You did not need to give him that. You dumb fucks. Jesus Christ. So what happens if someone doesn't sign him? You have to bring him back for another year. So okay, Dodgers can't partake in it. Too bad, so sad. You already got your upgrade in Jordan Westbrook. I don't feel bad. Padres could definitely use an upgrade at the pitcher. Starting pitcher for sure. And I did see Houston gave Jordan a qualifying offer as well. I think for now we'll add Houston, but I don't think they'll land him. And then San Diego. Was there an NL team I was also thinking of? Oh yeah, Arizona. I think the Angels could take on a Grayson Rodriguez contract, which is funny because he's actually an Angel this year in real life. They can probably start competing again. I think they freed up some salary, so it wouldn't be too bad. Not a terrible idea. Plus, the A's just got better with Luzardo, so you kind of need to start doing some checks and balances on your roster. We have Detroit, right? Yeah, Detroit's there. Oh, you know what? I put San Diego twice. So we'll do Arizona. So this is a pretty large group of teams that will be vying for his services. Well, Grayson, let's see where you head to for 2029. Spin the wheel. There's like 8 teams on this. 9. Spin the wheel. Oh, thank God. Dude, right between Arizona and San Francisco. Thank God. He's going to Houston. He is not going to be our problem. Thank the Lord. Now I got to deal with his rating drop. How did I do that? Yeah, that did get scary. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this was the off season I was thinking the O's would have to have at some point. They needed to remove guys from the roster for despite making the World Series 3 times, they need to flush out some of their depth, readjust with prospect acquirement acquisitions. They should be able to work their way from there. Well, we're back at it again. Hold on 1 second. Uh, I want to watch a fucking. I'm about tempted to watch some Lethero. Driving is so boring. If only there was a way to make this more enjoyable. How about this, Shadow? What's his potential? 9. I got so much shit I gotta do today, bro. Before I go work tomorrow. I got work at 9 in the morning. I am hyped for it though. This is a new job. Here we go again. There. So the same three goobers, all going for Rodriguez. And Rodriguez will be a Houston Astro. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. A fucking... I would have gone batshit had had he made had he been traded over here, man. Had he been traded into our division, I would have been in hell. It did get scary, I'm not gonna lie. For a second there, I was thinking I was fucked. But we did avoid a crisis. Oh, there's that. Ah, whatever. So now we take him to Houston. What does Houston have? Houston's been filling, they've been reloading with prospects, so... Oh, I haven't fixed his rating yet. Fuck. Houston should have something for, they should have something available because they did reload on their prospects for the last few off seasons. They didn't have a choice. Due to their, recently terrible years, they should have plenty of prospects available for, Baltimore's choosing. Man. This is, quite the, quite the drag, I have to say. I'm not gonna lie. This shit takes forever. Alright, Houston, what do you have? Yeah, they definitely need starting pitching. No doubt about that. To be fair, he's not a 90 or anything like that, so should be able to just net C's. Outfielders. Okay. Whatever you say, game. I'll leave the screen off for now until I figure this out. This stuff really does tend to be a drag, I'm not gonna lie. It takes a minute. I'm also not certain if they can actually get a great amount for a Yep, I think we got it. Alright, so here is what the trade is going to look like. John Urbina is the headliner for last year's draft. He was the first round selection by the Houston Astros. He will be going to Baltimore along with a prospect they traded for in Boston Bateman and another one in John Spikerman. These were guys I believe they acquired in the 27 deadline. They'll go to Baltimore for Grayson Rodriguez. Wait, what the fuck? Oh yeah, this is Baltimore. What am I was like, wait, what the fuck is he doing in my team? Oh no, he's not. He's not on my team. I got real scared from what that I had done it again and made a huge mistake. I was like, did I fuck up again? There's no way I just fucked up again. Urbina and Coffee, right? Kofi? Hold on. Bikerman, Bateman, Urbina. Okay. Well, that's done. So, Baltimore should have plenty of. They should have a no-brainer decision now in bringing back Gunner. He should be back before you know it. They may even want to. They might need to move on from Colton Cowser too. But if they can win another World Series with the guy on the roster, I don't think it would be such a bad thing. Right now, the two best rosters nearly year in and year out are Baltimore's and the Dodgers. The Brewers will definitely have something to say about it going into next season. And of course, for Baltimore, they should be fine anyways because Richie Gill, he was originally a 75 when the season started, and I was going to give him a rating boost up to 80. And I just got to make it up by 2. But he should be a really good fifth option for them in their lineup. Especially once Gunnar gets back. He should be back. You don't just let that kind of talent go after making 3 straight World Series appearances. I think the next team I gotta do is Arizona. Or not Arizona. Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta. Then again, they did give Ronald Acuna their the contract, so might not have to yet. Plus, he's only getting 12. I don't have to do it quite yet. Who else needs to be moved before free agency starts? Maybe Paul Skeens. Again, don't want to trade him just yet. I do want to see what the Pirates do first before doing that. I think that's it for now. I don't think there needs to be anything else done yet. Maybe a Devin Williams trade so they can go big game hunting. Maybe. Dodgers should be fine though. They should just be able to sign anyone they want. Yeah, we'll go through the first. We'll see what happens. First day of free agency. Let's see what happens here, folks. Yep, there it is. Jordan Westbrook is now a Dodger. Ellie is now a Red. All right. Players should be getting offered contracts. Not yet. Okay. I always forget how many days it takes. There we go. Yeah, stop simulating. The Giants are looking to add. Why the fuck would they be trying to add Ketel Marte? Brother, Jorge Mateo is right here. Why the fuck are you... Okay. So, what is happening here? I almost forgot. I'd lead the team. They don't really show who's after who in free agency. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I should see Nolan Jones being offered something, so I don't know what gives. What the fuck are the Diamondbacks doing letting Ketel Marte walk in free agency? What was the point of you guys freeing up $58 million in salary? He's not even getting a contract over $30 million. How did you not resign? No, we're gonna have to veto this, bro. This getting vetoed. This does not make a lick of sense. Nah, the game is bugging, bro. Hold on. We gotta veto this. This doesn't make any sense. You have the salary space. You haven't signed anybody yet. There's no one out there that's better than Ketel at second base in free agency. They're at other positions of need. Why wouldn't you re-sign him? Like, this doesn't make... Nah, we gotta veto this, bro. We're vetoing this trade. Immediately vetoed. Fuck out of here. This doesn't make any sense. You don't just let your all-star second baseman walk towards free agency because you don't want to give him a 3-year deal. This isn't even that much for him, a person at his age. And he hasn't... It's not like he's fallen off the face of the map. He is still batting at an elite percentage. He is still an elite batter to this day. Like, this doesn't make any sense why the game does this. Like, I wish you could make free agency simple. And, like, the Giants don't even need to be doing this right now. You haven't even signed Mason Miller. You're not even trying to extend him. You need to free up money there. So why the fuck? This is the point that I'm trying to make when I talk about the game's retarded AI. You don't have salary space to just automatically extend Mason Miller, but you have the salary to pay Ketel Marte. Yeah, you're bugging, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of my face. This is so stupid. This is the dumbest shit I've seen in my life. This is disgusting. He's in a fucking Giants uniform. He should be a D-back for life. It's hilarious I say that because, man, I was trying to play MLB The Show 22 many years ago when the game first came out. And I wanted to do a D-backs franchise where I blew up the roster and I sent Ketel to like the best option out there, which I think were Cleveland. Cleveland had given him they had offered me Emmanuel Clase, so that's why I jumped on the deal. Weird trade at the time, but it was worth it in my mind. Yeah, this is getting vetoed. He is going right back over to he's going right back over. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You don't let the face of your franchise go to free agency. Can't veto trades. I'm this far into free agency. Now I can't move him. I haven't saved yet. You know what? Whatever. You know what? Fine. What's done is done. I can't do anything about it. If that's the case, then Gunnar Henderson may not be he may not be an Oriole at this rate. I cannot believe just how stupid the CPU is. It truly baffles the mind. So he's stuck. He can't go back at this point then. He's basically a giant. You let him walk into, so why did I let him stay? So then there was no reason for him to stay as a there's no reason for that. He should have just been traded at last year's deadline. He should have just gone. There was no reason for him to stay here. You know, you free up all that salary. You freed up $58 million and you said, no, we don't need to bring him back. Look, what the fuck was the point of all of that? So the Giants just got significantly better. Thank you, D-backs. If we see these guys in the playoffs and they whoop my ass, I'm gonna fucking blame you for this. I can't even veto the trade. I can't veto it. He had a qualifying offer. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you just go, man, if they're just saving money so they can sign Nolan Jones or some shit, I'm gonna be really annoyed by that because you decided to let one of your franchise's best players ever go. That's really annoying. The game said you can't trade players until post June 15th. Yeah, they definitely took that perfect game to heart and said that's not happening again. We ain't letting that shit slide. I just, again, cannot fathom the CPU just letting him walk in free agency. So now we got to deal with Ketel Marte as a Giant. So he declined the qualifying offer because nobody signed him anyways. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna give him a contract extension. All right, we got Wilson Contreras. We got a backup first baseman for Tolio, and then Owen Miller doesn't have to. Cleveland, why are you letting your best closer go? Flossie just signed with the fucking Phillies for $85 million for 5 years. You gotta be fucking kidding me. The Giants got Ketel. The Dodgers just got Yordan. Are we serious? This is a disaster. And that's all because they could not trade him at last year's deadline, so that's cool. Man, these CPU is butt fucking retarded. You let the Diamondbacks let their franchise player go, not even try to bring him back. And then the fucking Dodgers just got Jordan. Man, I'm gonna enjoy that sweep on the Dodgers for a very long time because that shit is not happening again. It's not happening again. It's not happening. You just got the MVP of the American League. You just signed the MVP of the American League to a 8-year term. He is gonna be here for the next 8 years. And then you just got Jordan Westbrook from the Orioles. This is a stacked ass team, bro. What the hell? This is who we might have to see next year in the postseason. This is a team we got to see every game. Every time we see these guys, this is who we have to face, man. We don't have a choice. They just fucking stacked the deck so high, bro. What the fuck? How do you even compete with this? How are these teams going to compete with this, man? This shit is going to be insane. We may not win a game against the Dodgers. If we do, it'll be by the skin of our teeth. It's like I traded one villain for another, bro. In an event that could have landed Ellie with the Dodgers, I avoided that just for them to get Jordan Alvarez. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. Yo, this is some bullshit. Why the fuck aren't these teams signing their players? This doesn't make any sense. There's still no signs if Gunnar Henderson's going back to Baltimore. They should have signed him already. Like, all these guys might now be up for grabs because if Jordan's leaving Houston and Catel's leaving Arizona, God knows where these other guys are going, man. This shit is gonna be so dumb. Like, we might as well just keep advancing through free agency at this point. You know, what's done is done. There's nothing you can do now. The CPU is just dumb. In terms of the 40-man roster, who I really... Oh, Callis wasn't even eligible for the Rule 5. Brock Jones is, though. I mean, if we lose him, we lose him. I'm not gonna... He's Rule 5 eligible. I don't want to lose Kenny, so... Here to stay, I guess. Hinchman. I don't think we're gonna lose him, though. That's okay if we lose him. I'll fix the ratings later. We might as well keep moving forth through. We'll go ahead and add him to the 40-man. Get that out of the way. I don't think we should lose Juan Guerrero. I don't think he's, like, outed for people. Donatello. Shouldn't lose him. I don't think. We lose Zach, we lose him. Shohei, same thing. Yowendry, but we already have him on the 40-man. I actually kind of want Ray McCormick available on the 40-man roster. I believe we are up to 30, 34, 39. We have 39 spots. I don't think we should be able to lose him. Well, he's actually 68. Might lose him. Which would suck, but at this point, what can you do? We shouldn't lose too many guys. I think I'll leave that last spot up for grabs. Wait, let me just check to make sure. He shouldn't be eligible for the Rule 5. Yeah, he isn't. So we'll save that last spot. What was he asking for? 780K. We'll do that. See how that works. What the fuck? What do you mean they just got Acuna? Braves! Why? How did you not sign this man? Oh my god, bro. Everyone's going to the Dodgers. Look at this term. What the fuck? They're paying him off till 2037. Nah, bro. The game is actually bugging. The game is so salty that I swept the Dodgers. They said, nah, fuck you. Now you gotta go through the gauntlet that is LA. Fuck me. What do you mean they just got two of the best players in free agency? What in the fuck? They have 5 niggas 97 or higher. They are insane. The Dodgers literally just stacked the deck so high. They're actually a worse super team than the fucking Warriors at this point. Nah, they're bugging. They're worse than the Warriors. This is the type of greed they talk about in the Bible. They have the MVP of 2028. And he won 3 MVPs in the series in the American League. You got the MVP winner in 2023. And then you have Shohei Ohtani, who was an MVP winner in 26. You have 3 MVP winners. You have 4 MVP. Wait, hold on. Has Mookie won it? Mookie won it, right? Yeah. You have 5 MVPs. 5 fucking MVPs. And I just got Jordan Westburg, bro. Oh my god, dude. What have I done? They got Devin Williams still as a closer too. If he gets his shit together, bro, they might actually not be. They might not even be a. No, they might not get a challenge from anybody this season, bro. We might be the only ones that can stop them. And then you look and see it's 191 and a bunch of. Bro, we look like the group of. The power of friendship versus the hydrogen bomb. What in the fuck? What the hell is this free agency? There's no way. There is no way the Dodgers just became this kind of super team. Say you swear to God. Ezekiel Duran's going to the 8. Josh Young is going to the Marlins. What the fuck, Texas? Why didn't you bring him back? CJ Abrams is going to the Pirates. Okay. So he stays in that division. Glasnow is going to the Royals. Oh, God. What does that mean? Spencer Torkelson's also a Marlin. Sean Murphy's going to the... What? They just picked up a 90 overall catcher. They're the defending champions. They just got a 90 overall catcher. They just got better. We already know about the Clase signing. We know you're done. Gattel's going to the Giants. Dog, there's nothing I can do about this. This is cooked. We're all cooked. We're all finna die. We're all gonna die, bro. I want to see the big signings, bro. Show me the big look at look, this is what the D-backs are running with at this point. So, what else has been done? Oh my sweet, succulent, tender, juicy Jesus. What the fuck are the Brewers going up with? Bro, are they really trying to combat the Dodgers right now in terms of star power? How the fuck did Seattle let George Kirby just walk? What do you mean? Dude, that Jose Ramirez is an Oriole? I don't think that means they're bringing him. So what was the... Bro, does that mean Gunner's not coming back? There's no way you just saw. There was no reason to get Jose Ramirez. You needed to get Gunner back. Why did you do that? Bro, they got Jose Ramirez and Vladimir Guerrero in the same infield, and they don't even have Gunnar Henderson back. What are they doing? Do y'all even have a plan to bring him back? Please tell me you'll bring... Bro, if Gunnar signs with... If he just signs with the D-backs, I don't know how I'm going to feel. Nah, keep going. Let's just see how stupid this gets. Nope, let it ride. Oh my goodness, he's back in... Oh my god, look at that term. Look at how much he's getting. Dude, we... Oh my god. We have super teams being formed in baseball, y'all. This is insane. First of all, thank goodness he's back. Bro, Jake McCarthy went to the Phillies. 6 years, $160 million. Holy shit. Tanner Bibby's going to the... Why is Tanner Bibby going to St. Louis? What do you mean? Yeah, let me go to one small market team. Let me play for one and go to another one. Why not just sign with a good team at that point? Or go back to Cleveland now that they have the term freed up? Like, they actually... Like, I don't know, man. Should I have... David Fry probably should have been traded, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, he's a year younger than Ramirez, so it's not like it's an age issue. It's a contract and overall rating issue. I think the CPU thinks, oh, we have an 86 overall third baseman backing up Jose Ramirez. We'll be fine. No, you're not. Your conference just got significantly better. Significantly better. The O's might have just stacked the deck so high, bro. On their side, bro, we might get a Dodgers-Orioles rematch from the 26th World Series. It's literally going to boil down to, can the Seattle Mariners beat them one time? I was looking forward to the Mariners bringing back George Kirby. They got Ellie for a year. Now the question is, can they even... Is this team going to be able to run it back for next year at this point? Can this team run it back? And most importantly, can you get to the World Series? Can you win a game in the ALCS, please? Who's left in free agency? Royce Lewis, Pablo Lopez, Riley Green, Byron Buxton. So there are still free agents available. I'm just amazed Nolan Jones hasn't been signed yet. Let's see all the free agents left, actually. I am curious. Logan Webb hasn't been... Giants, you haven't even brought back your ace. You haven't even brought him back. What are you doing? They went out and signed Ketel Marte before getting their main players back. Bro, I gotta see this. This is gonna be absurd. Dude, look at that outfield. It's actually like a stacked roster again. They haven't even brought Christopher Sanchez, but I don't understand why they're not like, let's get our main guys back first, and then focus on getting additional pieces later. And then on top of that, you got probably the best closer in the game rating wise. Just pray that he isn't betting at this point in his life. He's sobered up. Unbelievable. Oh! I just saw it. I just finally saw it. First of all, Felix Bautista signing with Tampa Bay. Certainly a move. Good for them. Nolan Jones, he's going to the White Sox. He's gonna be a White Sox. How much did they sign him for per year? Actually, I'm curious. Again, for the record, this 90 rating is not gonna stay for long. It's only here temporarily. He's back in the AL Central after a historic year, a career year on all the boards. He has left for free agency, signs with the White Sox. So they just waited until the qualifying offer ended. That's so funny. They just waited until our qualifying offer expired. And he's been signed to a $22.6 million deal for 4 years. Not even get more in terms of term, but maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it was taking so long. He did turn 30 just now, so maybe that's why. Man, he went from Rocky pinstripes to White Sox pinstripes. He does look good though. He does look pretty good in these White Sox uniforms. I'm gonna miss him. I am going to miss him. He had an incredible year for us. The only thing he's going to end up having in Chicago is he will be reuniting with his fellow outfielder for a time, Jordan Beck, who is still slowly getting his development under him. Maybe he'll break out this year, who knows? Yep, I'm gonna miss the guy. Detroit, why? Just why? How did you let Riley Green? How did you let Riley Green walk in free agency, man? Again, there's nothing I can do. The game says that I can't do any of that stuff, man. I can't send these guys back to their original team. It's over. A lot of these guys are just not going to be on their original teams anymore. You know, the CPU really, like, 91 million for a team salary. You're telling me you didn't have the salary space to sign these guys back. In that case, you better hope Max Clark is able to take it and run with it as an outfielder, because, man, you're going to look real stupid. Baseball winter meeting. I don't even know what this does. Draft lottery. Man, I'm not really concerned about the lottery. Although, I will say, it is pretty funny looking at the standings. You had a lot of shitty teams this year. There were a lot of shitty teams, and then some teams that just barely missed out on the postseason by a game. In the case of Pittsburgh, that was the case. They missed the postseason by a game. Padres, I believe, by 2 games. No, 3 games. And Atlanta missed the postseason by 2 games. So, should be interesting, though. We are going to have a late draft pick for 2029, which is, again, that's whatever. Not going to be upset about it. The Athletics have they're tied for the highest odds at the first overall pick, and you got to feel for A's fans, man. All 6 of them left. To have a 50 and 112 record season in 2028, only to have the same odds for the first pick as the Nationals and Reds, you kind of hate to see it, man. Angels actually had the same amount of losses as the Reds. They went 62 and 100, yet they have the second highest odds for the draft for the first pick. Houston has the 5th. They're projected the 5th pick. St. Louis the 6th. White Sox the 7th. Tampa the 8th. Miami the 9th. And Minnesota the 10th. So that's the top 10 we're looking at so far. All right, begin. Okay. For once, the first overall pick remains the first overall pick. That usually doesn't happen. So the A's keep their first selection. The Nats will draft second. The Tigers are lucky recipients. They lose Riley Green, and now they jump up to the 3rd overall selection in the draft. The Minnesota Twins, they moved up 6 spots. They will now be drafting in the top 5. Cincinnati fell 2 spots. They'll be selecting 5th. Angels, similar issue. So they'll be drafting 6th. Houston fell to the 7th pick. St. Louis, the 8th. White Sox, the 9th. Tampa, the 10th. Miami, the 11th. Texas will receive the 12th pick. And Chicago gets the 13th. The rest of the teams kind of just stayed where they were. Nothing too crazy, basically. Here we have the Rule 5. I want to see who... We can select if we wanted to, but I'm probably just going to hold off. So far, I think we're pretty good. We haven't lost anybody from our team. Yeah, not a single one from us. Vodnik, he was with the Mets at the time, so he's just going over to the A's. So the A's took 2 guys. He took former Rocky Victor Vodnik and a guy named Herbito Hernandez. Not really sure what the game plan is, but now he can't get rid of him now. All right, more free agent signings. Riley Green, we saw him. He's going to Seattle. Shane Baz returns to Tampa on a 2-year, $42 million deal. O'Neal Cruz, the outfielder for the Pirates. He's going to be an Angel for 6 years, $128 million. So, what exactly is the plan here, Angels? Because you're not exactly a good team. I like how they lost Jose Altuve retired this offseason. Frees up money immediately, and they just go, fuck it. Let's just sign new guys. Hopefully Ezekiel Duran doesn't fall off the face of the map here, because you did sign him for 5 years. Have fun with that, by the way. Oh, Atlanta. Okay, so Logan Webb returned. Oh! Oh! Holy fuck. Great job, Giants. You let Logan Webb go. He's a Mariner. Along with damn near everybody. Dude, they have a 3-headed monster again. This could stack the deck. 29.5 million a year for 3 years. Yeah, they have a pretty good three-man rotation at the top of their pitching lineup. They still got Yohan Duran. Brandon Lowe's on the final year of his deal. Ellie's here for a year at least. Right, McMahon's here for 1 more year. For 2 years at least. You got Jacob Young. You got Riley fucking Green. This is a stacked ass roster, man. I think it should be Mariners and Orioles on their way to a World Series. They should be on their way to another ALCS rematch. Like it should be O's and M's part 3. We should be seeing O's and M's part 3. I mean, credit the Atlanta. They got Gabriel Moreno back, but like you fucked up, man. You let Ronald Acuna walk. You never even gave him a contract extension. Plus, Sean Murphy's gone. He signed elsewhere. Alexis Diaz is going to Chicago, playing for the White Sox. Yanier Diaz, he's now being, he's going to be a Philly. Tristan Casas is going to be a D-back. Okay. Andrew Nardee is gonna be a Cardinal. John Riley went somewhere. I'm trying to remember what team. Oh, Sean Murphy. The Riley and Sean Murphy. Yeah, I couldn't remember where he went. He left Atlanta for Milwaukee for 4 years. I'm surprised that's how much he's getting paid for a 90 overall. I thought he would be getting way more in terms of term. Significantly less than what he should have gotten, I'll be honest. Well, Minnesota's done. They didn't bring back Royce Lewis. To be honest, I probably should just had them trade Carlos Correa, but I don't know. Is it even worth it at this point? Now what do you do if you're fucking San Diego? Why would you sign Royce Lewis when you still need to re-sign Jackson Merrill? He has only 1 year of arbitration. Are you gonna re-sign him? You guys gonna re-sign him or what? Xander Bogart's contract isn't getting any shorter. Neither is Machado's. This actually does not make. I don't know, man. I'm almost tempted to start over. I'm almost tempted to do that, but I can't tell how far it got ahead with the game with the theme re-signing. Vinny Pasquantino left Kansas City for Chicago. He's going to be a White Sox for 6 years. Aaron Durant's going to go back to Boston for 4 years. And they just swapped them out for Pablo Lopez. Yeah, I should have. Minnesota should probably just go ahead and blow it up. 2 years and $65 million. That's it. What are the contracts? Dude, these guys are depleted. I mean, they did re-sign Zach Eflin, so good for them. This is a ridiculous roster, man. They like they should have won the World Series last year. They probably should have beaten us. Now they might actually get it done. Like, you see this shit. Do you see what we're dealing with here? Has Glass not been signed yet? Doesn't look like it. Milwaukee has gotten Byron Buxton on a 1 year deal. And Christopher Sanchez has been signed by Kansas City. Cole Reagans is still available, and so is Tanner Scott. I am curious to see what happens here. Wow. The Nats signed Luis Gil to a 5-year, $89 million deal. Jose Barrios goes to Seattle for a 1-year contract. Cole Reagans is going to be a Met for 5 years. Wait. Yeah, okay. I was going to say. And Sanchez, we saw, is going to be a Mariner or a Royal. Dog, I just signed a first baseman. Oh. How much is Tanner Scott asking for? A 2-year deal, 10.4 million. Just fit on our budget. Yeah, he should work. Now at this point in the off season, to be able to find guys that can just we can slip in. They've been sitting in free agency for a bit. Oh yeah, Griffin Jacks. Nah, he was a gas. He was a meatball chef for us. Ooh, Michael Kopech, former Dodger. He got his ERA down a bit from 2027. He was probably a reason why they couldn't make it to the playoffs that year. Not bad. Could definitely work. What other relievers we should consider? I'm thinking Brewster Gretterwell. Like Gretterwell could be a huge, like he could be huge. He had a really good year, All-Star reliever of the year. Sure. So we'll have them as offers. Okay. Looks like he's close to signing there. Definitely don't want to increase the term. I do want to keep it around 2 years. And we do have a pretty large budget right now, just over 100 million. So we don't have to go too crazy. 13 million per year for 2 years should be enough to sway him over here. You signed there for 1 year. I gave you a 2-year deal for 13 million for both years. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. They were probably gunning for him anyways. Radical, 9 million for the year. The Tigers? Okay. Whatever you say. That's just probably because it took too long to sign some of these dudes. Logan O'Hoppe is going to St. Louis, so he's going to stay in the NL Central as well. 4 years, 56 million. I still want a better option for closer, man. David Bednar. Beobrisky. Brieski. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hopefully he can fix his play from last year in Detroit. He was a gas can there. I don't want to give them large contracts if I can avoid it. Come on, Kopech. Thank you. The former Dodger, now turned Rocky. What was his potential? Actually, I'm blanking on how much it was. I think in terms of our bullpen, it should be much better now. I just need to drop one guy if I'm being honest. I think in terms of who I'm letting go, I'll probably just let go of Alex Young. Don't really need him. Why did I offer him salary arbitration? Yeah, I regret that now. Probably should just cut Matt McGrath. 45K, yeah, that's whatever. Actually, we'll just cut Kyle. They don't really have a great year for us. Yeah, I'm actually going to pull out of these free agent offers. Remove. I actually don't have any more space on my roster. So the Cardinals just got better for no reason. They're not even that impressive. Like, Bibby, Ohapi, like, you don't... That's a good starting point to add in free agency if you're already a good team. This isn't a good team, and they're going to show it like this year. I really don't understand what their goals are. Mitch Keller is going to be a twin? Really? Like, okay. So he stays in division. At the very least, Correa's contract expires in 2030, but they're probably going to need to start blowing this roster up. This is not a good roster anymore. I don't expect them to do anything this season. I think when we get to the off season for 2030, they are going to make significant changes to the look of this team. This roster could have done so much better, but they collapsed in last season. Okay. 870K is whatever. The panel sided with Assad. He's getting nearly 3.5 million. Fuck me. 3.2 million. Alex Young. Yeah, I regret that decision. At least it's only 850K for the year. After that, it's whatever. Yeah, I don't expect Rodon to get signed just yet. Nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and start. Who could use Brody? They signed Ryan Leathers to a 3-year deal. Okay. You do you, St. Louis. Keep deluding yourselves that you can compete. Tried to help you. Brother, Paul Skeens still has not been signed an extension. What the fuck are you guys doing? You better give him an extension or he's getting traded soon, bro. I'm not playing. I do not need him getting... like Jared Jones, similar issue. You better extend these bastards now because I'm not playing. When we get... Look, 12 days. 12 days till spring training. You better get this right or we're going to have a problem. There's plenty of teams that will jump to the... They will jump for Paul Skeens, man. They will jump at the bit to get Paul Skeens this season. I'm not playing. This is absurd, man. Like, these teams keep letting their star players go in free agency because they're refusing to sign anybody, and it keeps costing them in the end. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know Brian Reynolds cost so much for $13 million. You paid him. You chose to do it. Now look at this. I don't even know why Milwaukee did this. They have Roger Irizarry and Dan Deerdorf. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. You have these two guys in your farm system, so getting George Kirby was just a dick measuring contest. Have fun paying that term till 2036, you idiots. Like, what the hell, man? Um, I guess the next step is to just before I do, I need to do the rating boost for certain prospects. Before I even do that, I need to go ahead and start making make some trades, make some moves. Still no bites for Brody here. Might have to add something along to really entice a team for this trade. A Javier Assad Brody Breck trade. What does that net me? Well, let me add something else to it. Nobody took warming in the Rule 5. Any trades possible, I will gladly accept them. I will also like to point out the fucking O's are insane. 27, they are 27 million above the salary that they can pay. They are paying so much term, bro. Holy hell. Look at these teams. They have actually put themselves in financial ruin. I'm not even kidding. Somehow the Brewers are like the only ones doing it right. Seattle is deliberately 32 above the salary. Their budget's in the negative just so they can win a World Series finally. They are so tired of being the only team not in the World Series in their history of their franchise. Look at the Twins. They have $106 million available for their budget. They are not paying people, bro. Nah, these teams are bug. Look at the Tigers. Why do you have 140 million available? What is wrong with you? They're like, oh, we need to sign our third baseman. We need to sign all of our third basemen to long-term deals once they reach the show. Whose fault is that? Why did you get so many? Why does it say you need a third baseman? You don't need a third baseman. You're fine. This game is actually bugging, bro. This game is bugging. They have this motherfucker here. Why do you even need Colson Montgomery at this point? Just trade him. This game is actually losing its mind, bro. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. I didn't think that'd be possible. Not taking that contract. You got me fucked up. 18 million. Yeah, I'm fine. He's getting 15. Yeah, we're fine. You'd be that stupid, huh? Okay. Genuine question, Texas. Why would you trade Corey Seager? He's got 2 more years after this season on that term. I don't really like any of these offerings. What about just prospects? Just give me a prospect at this point. Kind of fuck with this trade, I'm not gonna lie. Again, I really want to avoid trading for guys that they were already in the farms or that were just selected or just drafted. Mason, Gerber. Yeah, this is a good trade. So we'll get a shortstop and Will Mason. He was selected in the second round in 2027, along with Kevin Brito, who was selected in the first round of 27 as well. And to round out the trade, they'll be giving us Charles Gerber, selected in the first round of 2025. This will allow us to get younger at the shortstop, starting pitcher, and we get an additional third baseman in our farm system. A new third baseman to replace Warming Bernabel, who isn't a bad player, but I feel like he's ran his course here. This is actually I actually really like this. This is a really nice trade. They get a starting pitcher who could start for them this year, Brody Breck. He could start this year finally. This could be his first year in the majors. And they'll get a serviceable reliever in Javier Assad, who I don't want to pay this year. So that's taken care of. Damn, Jackson Merrill's getting 31 million, bro. That's probably why. That's probably why the Padres are in the negative. A lot of these teams are in the negative probably because of their arbitration hearings. Holy moly. Griffin Jacks, he's gonna go to the NL Central, play for the Pirates. So he'll be joining CJ Abrams there in Pittsburgh. Ahmed Rosario is gonna be a Brave. I guess now he's the Ozzy Albies replacement. Doesn't change the fact you let Ronald Acuna go into my division. You bums. Connor Wong is an A. Okay. Alec Marsh. Ooh, Hunter Brown. He's gonna be a red. Wait, why? Ryan Nelson is a Met. Matt Barsh is going to Houston. Cole Sands to Baltimore. Logan Hoppy, we saw that one. Tanner Scott, we know where he's going. Jesus Sanchez, he's going back to the AL Central. He'll be a White Sox. He'll be joining that outfield with Jordan Beck and Nolan Jones. That should be interesting. Garrett Mitchell leaves from the NL Central to the AL Central. He'll be a Guardian. Carlos Estevez will be a Yankee. We know Luis Gil is going to the Nats. Jose Barrios will be a Mariner. Cole Reagans, scooped up by the Mets. We saw that one. Luis Arias, he'll be a Giant. That's funny because he's a Giant in real life. Ryan Pepio will be a Twin. So, Trevor Stefan, a Yankee. Josh Lowe, a Ranger. So the Yankees got better in their bullpen. Will Vest will be a Baltimore Oriole. Christopher Morel will go to the A's. after his rental usage with the Giants. Alex Lang goes to the Braves. Drew Rasmussen will be a White Sox. Christopher Sanchez is a Royal. I think we saw that. Randy Arozarena has been scooped up by the D-backs. Take that for what you will. Kerry Carpenter. Kerry Bonds will be a Brave. I guess he's the Ronald Acuna replacement now. Byron Buxton, we saw that one. It's just like, I don't know what they expect. Like, I want to look around the conf. So, we didn't get much better. I had to trade Assad because we lost his arbitration hearing. So, we downgraded a tiny bit in the bullpen, although I don't think we're going to miss Assad too much. Still, we got some pretty good value out of that trade. I believe we sent him over to... Yeah, we sent him over to Boston. I don't think he ever got to wear the uniform for us, but at least he's gonna wear the uniform with the Red Sox. It looks nice. Red Sox uniform. Ben Joyce is still here. How much? As I signed him to, I don't know. Did I signed him to a 3-year deal? I have no idea. I don't think I did. I think we traded for him. I think we did. Assad spent half a year in a Rockies uniform. Now he's going to be spending this year as a Red Sox. So there's that. Again, warming, fun while he was here. His time has run out in my mind. I think for Bradley Blaylock, I want to go ahead and just transform him into a relief pitcher. His rating drops as a result, but you know, he's gonna get some time really becoming a reliever. One of the changes that I want made is if I change a guy from a position, a starting pitcher, to like a reliever, I don't want his potential to stay the same, so I want to cut it down by a bit. I think we'll start with him as a 75, and he'll have to work his way back. Outside of that, pass him through waivers to move him down. All right, so that should be it. All rights back for another go. I can work on the roster construction in a second. I need to focus on the other task. Right now, I need to adjust the ratings of several prospects so teams can actually bring them up. Luckily, Richie Gill doesn't need too much changed about him. He's already a 78. He just needs a few more points and he should be a 80 overall for them. He's up to 79. You know what? That might actually be a good starting point for a lot of these rookies. Although he's a 24-year-old, so I want him to just already have it. You know what? Fuck it, that's good enough. I don't want to make it too insane. Next was Fred Gregg of the Mets. I don't even know if they need him to be that high anymore. I do need to give my guys that monthly rating adjustment. I also need to get it ready for so we'll do that. Now I have one for we'll have one play we'll have players from every level from September. They need their rating the +1. October, same issue, and then for one guy in the off season, and then we'll do one for spring training. Giving a guy a temporary rating boost did not work last year. It actually affected some guys, I think. So we're not going to do that next time. This time we're just going to give them a +1 to a rating. And starting this year, a few other changes. Rookie of the Year winner gets the option to have a +3 to their potential. Second place will get 2 plus third place gets +1. That's the change I wanted to make. Uh and then spring training, I think I to make it clear, a permanent +1 to either contact, power, so on and so forth. Why do so many of you guys have like us too many guys? What are you doing? Whatever, that's not my problem at this point. So I will say, I intended on Fred Gregg getting a plus, going from a 72 to a 77. I might hold off on that now. You may not need to. I only made him a 75. Yeah, we'll leave him at a 76. That should be good enough. The next guy. Max Clark. Come get this rating boost. Brother, why is Jackson Jobe in AAA? I mean, he's on the 40, man. Not the worst case scenario. Yeah, that's fine. I'm like kind of doing it less than the one I originally wanted them to, but that's fine. Evan McGonigal, already 80 overall. He was originally 78. I was gonna put him up to 83, but should be fine. Lefty. I was originally gonna make Broadway a go from 63 to 70, but I just peeped how high his potential is. It probably should be a lot higher. You need to make a quick change. I gotta say though, 2029 is the year for rookies. There should be plenty of entertaining rookies out there for everyone. Peter Broadway. I had him up to 70. I think I want to change that now. Because he's starting to reach that he's 23. He should start reaching his incredible generational talent potential at this point. I can do that. Fielding, okay. How fast are you? 72 speed? Yeah, you should be able to cover your bases. Oh, that actually does make him 70. Okay. He can stay there for now. Not sure how many I'll get to while I'm at this. I had Lopez in 85. Sorry, 75. I said 85. At 75. I think I meant to make him a 75. I think 73 should work though. He should see the show anyways. This one's gonna sting like a bitch, but I wanted Johnny Van Valkenburg to get a rating boost. But it was supposed to be from 80 to 82, and he's already that, so I might not have to actually do that. Kinda don't need to. He should be at the show this year though. I don't know what they'll wait for Johnny V. Barry Combs. He was a draft pick by the Nationals. Starting pitcher. Yeah, I wanted him to. He was at 74. I wanted to make him a 79. Yeah, go ahead and take this rating. This might take a minute. '78 actually could work for him. Not too high. I think for Felipe to help the Toronto Blue Jays out. Last year was his first full lead. I wanted him to go from 73 to 78. I think he should just be an 80. Okay, too high. Too high. There it is. So that way he can be the third option in their staff. Be a huge contributor. Oh, Tyler Glasnow's over here. Bro just looks like he's gonna be in the same uniform. 2 years, 33.3 million per year. I had Jason Yoshida. I wanted him to be from 70 to 75, but he's a 72, so I'm actually gonna change it to where he should be much higher. His rating might be fucked. I don't know why it's not going up high enough. $75? What did I say? It's just. Let me see. Give him one more and see where that leaves him. $75. Yeah, then we'll just leave it as that. Carson Williams, come get this rating boost. You will be 80. You will be an 80. I said that before. You'll get an 80. Yep, good. You start checking these off. Josh Worth. I was going to say Jason. It's Josh Worth. Josh Worth of the Twins. They definitely could use the support. Like, we have a lot of guys from that 2025 class that were selected in the first round. They should be at the show by now, so. 75. He's a 73. We're going to change that to what should be a higher rating. Change him to a 79. Bro barely went up. He can compete with David Festa for that fifth starter role. Okay, too high. There it is. Okay, I should. Frankly, probably should have done this before free agency started to help these teams out a little better. That's why some of these teams went out and did what they did. Wanted him to be a 70. 69 should work though. I have a few taken up. Half the page I worked on is now taken care of. I think I can wrap things up for now. I've been streaming quite a while. A lot had to be done. A lot of bullshit too. So 3 hours and 36 minutes of some crazy shit. Should be back on in like maybe an hour.